Hey everyone, ready for a wild ride?
Oh, yeah, buckle up.
Today we're going way back to the very beginning.
Back to the early Earth.
Yeah, talk about a deep dive, right? And our guide for this crazy trip is a book called Earth's Wild Youth, From Hellfire to Habitability.
That pretty much sums it up.
Totally. This book paints such a vivid picture of what Earth was like billions of years ago.
It was like a totally different planet.
Right. It's described as this molten inferno bombarded by asteroids, like constantly.
And that's not even the half of it. We're talking magma oceans.
Magma oceans.
Yeah, instead of our regular oceans.
Wow.
And the atmosphere was completely toxic. You wouldn't last a second breathing that air.
Yikes. So not exactly a place you'd want to visit.
Definitely not a vacation spot.
But hold on. Amidst all this chaos, something incredible happens. The Theia impact.
Oh, yeah, Thea. That was a game changer.
I know, right? So for those who don't know, Theia was this Mars-sized object that slammed right into Earth.
Can you imagine the energy involved in that collision?
It's mind-blowing. It's hard to even comprehend.
And the craziest part, this catastrophic event is probably the reason we have life on Earth today.
Right, seriously. How so?
Well, scientists believe the Theia impact created the moon.
The moon.
Yeah. And the moon has played this crucial role in stabilizing Earth's climate for billions of years.
Wow, so from this total disaster came something essential for life.
It's kind of poetic when you think about it.
Okay, so we've got this dramatic moon birth, but there's still a key ingredient missing for life as we know it.
You're talking about water, right?
Exactly.
Right.
Where did all of our oceans come from?
Okay, now this is where things get really interesting.
I'm all ears.
Imagine like a cosmic delivery service, but instead of packages, it's dropping icy comets and asteroids onto Earth.
You're kidding, right? You mean our oceans came from space?
That's the leading theory. This period, known as the late heavy bombardment, showered Earth with water molecules that eventually formed our oceans.
That's incredible. So all this water we depend on came from these space rocks.
Pretty much. And it makes you wonder, what if those icy asteroids had missed us completely?
Ooh, good question.
What would Earth be like today? Would it just be a dry, lifeless rock?
That's a scary thought.
It really puts things into perspective, right?
It does. Okay, so we've got water, but the atmosphere is still toxic. How did that change?
That's where the Great Oxygenation Event comes in.
The Great Oxygenation Event.
Yeah. And the stars of the show are these tiny organisms called cyanobacteria.
Cyanobacteria. Aren't those the ones that do photosynthesis?
Exactly. They're like tiny little oxygen factories.
Okay, so through photosynthesis, they pumped out tons of oxygen into the atmosphere.
Transforming Earth from a toxic wasteland into a place where life could actually thrive.
So these little guys basically terraformed the planet for us.
Pretty much. But of course, not everyone was happy about all this extra oxygen.
Oh, right. What happened?
Well, it led to a mass extinction of anaerobic life forms.
Anaerobic life forms.
Yeah, those are organisms that can't survive in the presence of oxygen.
Ah, so they were basically wiped out by this good change for other life.
Exactly. It's a reminder that even positive changes can have unintended consequences.
Okay, so we've got water-breathable air, and now we need to talk about something called plate tectonics.
Plate tectonics, that's where things really start to take shape.
Right. The book describes Earth's crust as a giant puzzle, which seems like a pretty good analogy.
It is. Imagine these massive plates constantly moving and interacting.
So these plates are shaping our world, creating continents, mountains, oceans.
Precisely. And this activity also releases life-sustaining gases through volcanic eruptions.
Volcanoes. I always thought of those as destructive forces.
They definitely can be. But they also play a crucial role in maintaining Earth's balance.
So they're like a necessary evil.
You could say that. Their eruptions release gases that help regulate the atmosphere and contribute to the cycle of life.
That's amazing. So even these seemingly destructive forces help create the planet we know and love.
It's all about balance.
Before we move on, I want to try something fun. The book has this quick quiz, and I'm curious to see how you do.
All right, hit me with it.
Okay, first question. True or false? The moon stabilizes Earth's climate.
True. We talked about that earlier. It helps keep Earth's axial tilt stable.
Okay, second question. True or false? Early Earth smelled like a beautiful flower garden.
Definitely false. That early atmosphere was a nasty mix of toxic gases.
Wow, so no strolling through fields of wildflowers back then.
More like dodging molten lava and asteroids.
Yikes. This deep dive has already been mind-blowing. We've gone from a molten hellscape to a planet with oceans, breathable air, and a stabilizing moon.
And we're just getting started.
I know, right? There's so much more to uncover about Earth's incredible journey.
So stay tuned for part 2 of our deep dive, where we'll delve even deeper into the mysteries of Earth's wild youth.
We'll be right back after a short break.
Can't wait.
And we're back with part 2 of our deep dive into Earth's wild youth.
Still with me.
Of course. We just covered the molten chaos, the moon's birth. Those space deliveries bringing us water.
It's just amazing how all those things came together to make life possible.
I know. So many things had to go right.
Right. The perfect recipe for life.
So where do we go from here? What other crazy twists and turns are waiting for us in Earth's story?
Well, we talked about those icy comets bringing water, right? Setting the stage for life.
Yeah.
But they were also delivering something else. Organic molecules.
Organic molecules, like the building blocks of life.
You got it. Carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, all those essential ingredients.
So basically the raw materials for life.
It's not just about having water, it's about what's in that water.
Like having all the ingredients for a cake, right?
Exactly. You can't just have flour and water and expect a cake.
Makes sense. But even with those ingredients, early life had some serious challenges.
Oh, absolutely. It was a wild world back then. I can only imagine.
Think intense volcanic activity, constant asteroid impacts, an atmosphere that was still evolving.
It's mind-blowing that anything could survive all that. Life finds a way. It's incredibly resilient.
Makes you wonder if we could learn from that resilience.
Oh, definitely. How did they thrive in such harsh conditions?
Right. Maybe there were lessons there for us today for climate change or resource scarcity.
Imagine the possibilities if we could unlock those secrets.
It's like looking to the past for solutions to the future.
Exactly. Earth's history can teach us so much about adaptation.
Adaptation is key for survival.
And Earth is pretty good at it, even with the most extreme challenges.
Speaking of challenges, our source, Earth's wild youth, makes a point about our impact today.
What does it say?
It says we're pumping carbon into the atmosphere like crazy, almost recreating that toxic hellscape Earth works so hard to escape.
That's a sobering thought.
Right. Like we're undoing billions of years of progress.
But it's a wake-up call, too. We have to take responsibility.
So what can we do? How do we change course?
Well, the book suggests starting small, recycling, driving less, planting native vegetation.
Those are great ideas. Things anyone can do.
It all adds up. Individual actions matter.
But we also need bigger changes.
Yeah.
Like systemic change and policies that support sustainability.
Absolutely. We need action on all fronts.
It's amazing how studying Earth's past connects to today's problems.
It's all connected. Earth's history is our history.
Right. It's the story of how we got here and how we move forward.
And it's a story of resilience adaptation, the incredible power of nature.
And it's a story that's still being written. We get to shape the next chapter.
Exactly. What kind of legacy do we want to leave?
It's up to us to choose a path toward a sustainable future.
A future where both humanity and nature can thrive.
Well said. This deep dive is truly eye-opening.
Absolutely. So much to think about.
Now, are you ready for the final part of our deep dive?
Bring it on. I'm ready to see what other insights are waiting for us.
Stay tuned. We've got even more mysteries to unravel from Earth's incredible past.
Can't wait.
And we're back for the final chapter of our deep dive into Earth's wild youth.
Ready to wrap things up.
Absolutely. We've come a long way, from molten inferno to oxygen and early life.
And we've seen how it all paved the way for the planet we know today. It's incredible.
It makes you think about how everything's connected. But there's one thing I'm still wondering about.
What's that?
How did all this amazing diversity of life arise from those early simple organisms?
That's where evolution comes in.
Evolution. The process of life changing over time.
Exactly. Driven by natural selection, organisms with traits best suited to their environment survive and reproduce, passing those traits down.
So over millions of years, these tiny adaptations add up, leading to the incredible variety we see today.
Like a giant branching tree, each branch a new species evolved from a common ancestor.
The book Earth's Wild Youth has a great analogy for this.
What's that?
It says evolution is like a master tinkerer, always experimenting with new designs. Some work, some don't, but over time the results are breathtaking.
I love that analogy. It really captures the creativity of evolution.
It's mind-blowing that all life, from tiny bacteria to giant whales, shares a common ancestor somewhere way back.
It really puts things in perspective. We're all part of this interconnected web of life.
And that brings us to a crucial point. Our source reminds us that our actions today are impacting this delicate web.
Right. It says extinction is part of evolution, but we're speeding it up, pushing species to the brink with habitat destruction, pollution, and climate change.
Like playing cosmic Jenga. and pulling out too many blocks.
Powerful image, right? We're not just impacting individual species. We're messing with entire ecosystems, disrupting the balance of life.
So what can we do? What lessons can we learn from Earth's past to help us navigate this challenge?
Well, one key lesson is adaptation. Life has always found a way to adapt, and so must we.
But how do we adapt to something as complex as climate change?
It's tough, but Earth's wild youth offers some ideas.
Like why?
It says we need to be more like cyanobacteria, find ways to clean up our mess, reduce our impact, create a more sustainable future.
I like that. It's not about going back in time. It's about evolving how we think and live.
Exactly. We have the knowledge, the technology, the resources. We just need the will to act.
The book leaves us with a powerful question.
What's that?
If Earth can transform from a fiery hellscape to a haven for life, what's stopping us from creating a future where humanity and nature can thrive?
It's a question we all need to ask ourselves. We have the power to write the next chapter. What will it be?
This deep dive has been an incredible journey. We've explored Earth's dramatic past and learned valuable lessons about resilience, adaptation, and the interconnectedness of life.
It's been humbling to see the power of nature, and it's a reminder of our responsibility to protect this planet we call home.
So as we wrap up this exploration of Earth's wild youth, let's carry these lessons with us. Let's be inspired by Earth's resilience, guided by its wisdom, and committed to creating a future where both humanity and nature thrive.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep asking questions. That's how we unlock the secrets of our amazing planet and inspire positive change.
Thanks for joining us on this epic journey.
It's been a blast.